Alright, imagine this. You're looking for an in-ear monitor that doesn't just sound great, but also offers incredible value. Stage level clarity, a premium metal build, and a tuning refined enough for audiophiles. That is exactly what the NF Acous NM25 claims to offer. So today we're diving in and see if these little aluminum in-ear monitors actually live up to the hype. Let's start with the basics, with what the NM25 actually is. And right away, the build is impressive. The shells are carved from a solid block of aviation grade aluminum using 5-axis CNC machining. And honestly, the moment you pick them up, they feel like something far more expensive. They're smooth, lightweight and just really well put together. Inside you've got a custom MC2L 100A dynamic driver. This isn't your average budget driver, it uses a dual magnetic circuit, dual acoustic cavity and a beryllium coated diaphragm. In simple terms that means more control, more speed and less distortion. The frequency response stretches from 9 Hz all the way up to 40 kHz and with a 108 dB sensitivity and a 32 ohm impedance, these are incredibly easy to drive, but they also scale nicely with better sources. And then there's NF Acous' interesting tuning system called SRA 2.0. Behind that name is a set of acoustic filters, damping nets and internal structures that shape the sound physically before it even reaches your ear. It's designed to smooth out peaks, balance the treble and give the NM25 a cleaner, more refined tone. Isolation is good too, around 25 dB, thanks to the sealed metal housings and the MS42 silicon tips. In the box you get the IEMs, a 2-pin silver plated cable, the tips, a case and a 3.5 to 635 adapter. Nothing flashy, but it's all solid and functional. Now let's get into what really matters, the sound. I paired the NM25 with the iBasso DX180, a clean, transparent DAP that brings out a lot of detail. And tested them using 2 very different tracks to see how they handle contrast. First up, Dogs by Pink Floyd. Right from the opening the NM25 shows its control. The low-end rumble is deep but never bloated. It's tight, it's clean and it stays exactly where it should. As the song builds, the mid-range really starts to shine. Guitars have that classic Pink Floyd shimmer, vocals are textured and natural and everything just sits beautifully in the mix. The soundstage is surprisingly wide for a single dynamic driver. You can hear the echoes, the reverb trails and all those atmospheric details that make this track special. The treble is crisp without being sharp, giving cymbals and upper harmonics a clean extension that feels airy rather than harsh. On this track the NM25 manages to be revealing and musical at the same time. Switching gears to Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa, the NM25 shifts effortlessly into pop mode. The bass has more punch, more drive and it gives that track that satisfying foundation it needs. The kick drum is quick and controlled, never muddy. Dua Lipa's vocals sit forward and clean, with a smoothness that's very pleasant to listen to. The upper end sparkle, the electronic percussion and the synth accents come through clearly, adding enough energy without becoming fatiguing. The NM25 shows excellent timing here, with transients that feel snappy and lively. Across both tracks the overall impression is consistent. The NM25 is detailed, balanced and dynamic. It's clean enough for critical listening, but still fun enough for casual enjoyment. Now let's quickly compare them to their sibling, the NF Acous NM20. The NM20 has a brighter, more V-shaped sound. Some people love that, it's energetic and lively, but it can get sharp or tiring depending on the track. The NM25 on the other hand feels like a more mature tuning. It's smoother, more balanced and generally easier to listen to for long sessions. The build is also a step up. The NM20 uses a mix of polycarbonate and metal, while the NM25 goes full aluminum with a much more premium feel. And thanks to the SRA 2.0 tuning system, the NM25 controls the upper frequencies far better than the NM20 does. If the NM20 feels a bit raw or bright to you, the NM25 is the refined answer. Now let's talk about some of the pros and cons of the NM25, starting with the drawbacks. The NM25 leans slightly analytical, so if you're someone who prefers a warm or super layback sound, these might feel a bit bright in the upper mids. On some vocal tracks, especially poor mastered ones, you might notice slight sibilance. And while the included cable is fine, it's not the most luxurious cable out there, and it only comes with a single-ended termination, so if you're into balanced outputs, you'll probably end up upgrading. But the strengths, this is where the NM25 really delivers. The build is outstanding, the tuning is refined, the detail retrieval is excellent, and the overall tonality strikes a really nice balance between accuracy and enjoyment. Paired with a good source like the iBasso DX180, the dynamic driver comes alive, giving you tight bass, clean mids and airy controlled treble. They isolate well, they're durable, and they genuinely feel like a monitor you can trust, whether you're listening for pleasure or performing on stage. So to wrap it up, the NF Acous NM25 are simply impressive. They combine a premium metal construction with mature tuning and strong technical performance. And they do it at a price that makes them a standout in their category. If you're looking for an IEM that offers balance, clarity and a build quality that feels way above its class, the NM25 absolutely deserves a place on your shortlist. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. See you in the next one.